Hello, and welcome to another Thursday chilled out Dicebreaker live painting stream. Sorry for the late start. I was making a cup of tea. Let's just
Unacceptable.
let's just lampshade that, get it out of the way first and foremost, because there weren't technical difficulties unless you count me misjudging uh, how long it took for my kettle to boil. We've got a couple of super chats to start off with before we
Wow.
actually go anywhere. I know. Nunyo Bigness has said to keep you in tea and Vicky's and to apologise for the the Daisy Dukes thing. There has been some discussion of jorts in the chat before the stream. You know, jean shorts.
Yeah, I know, Joe. I'm familiar with with Eurogamer legend Ian
Ian
Higton.
Higton
Yeah.
and his love of jorts. Yes, and they've now been discussing what the difference between a jort and a Daisy Duke is.
Well, these are shorter, right?
Yeah,
They're more like hot panty, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. And Thierry
What we're here to
Fox.
discuss today.
Yeah, or Terry Fox has said, "Hello, you absolute legends. Your painting streams inspired me to start my project of building a tiny pod racer by kit bashing old Gundam parts. Can't wait to paint
Ooh,
that sucker. Can't wait to
nice.
see that sucker." Tweet us pictures of that, and we'd love to see it. Because as ever, the next couple of hours, we're going to be painting some things, and if you're doing a project of your own, whether that's painting or crocheting or knitting, or it can be absolutely anything, as you know, anything wholesome. We'll tweet ours out later, and then you reply with your pictures, and we sort of get to see what everyone's been up to, while generally having a chilled Thursday afternoon. So my glasses are coming off because I can't paint properly with them on. What are you
Wow.
painting today, Wheels?
I am painting one of the Cyberpunk Red miniatures that we got sent.
Yes.
Got one of the, I think they're called Rocketics, is the
As a rocker, technically, the class is actually Rocker Boy, despite this obviously being a female presenting model.
There you go. Yeah, this is a rocker boy slash rocker chick. She has got a double-headed guitar slung around her back.
Mm.
She's got a mane of dreadlocks. And she's covered in like cybernetic knees and stuff.
Cool.
As well as like classic kind of like, you know, the kind of knee-high, strung-up, high-heeled boot that like a wrestler would wear. You know,
Mm-hmm.
got those on as well, which is pretty cool. I don't know how well she's showing up on screen, but there you go.
Nice. Similarly, a futuristic lady, but I am painting some 40k today because it went up on Monday. Our review of the latest 40k sort of edition slash box Indomitus went live, and I've gone from not really understanding anything about 40k to assembling my first army. Because I can't stop myself. So this is a canoness for the Adeptus Sororitas, or the Sisters of Battle, who are basically nuns with guns.
They are pretty heckin' cool.
Pretty nunny with gunny. And so I'm going to be painting her up in the colours of the Ebon Chalice, which is one of the orders of the Adepta, which basically means it's black and red and white, but in a slightly different configuration to some of the others. Zanzibar White has done a super chat saying, "Well, if it has to be wholesome, I guess that rules me out. Thanks for the great content." I mean, you can still watch even if the thing you're crafting isn't wholesome. It's just that's the vibe we're going for. Oh no, I seem like a horrible gatekeeper.
Yeah, how dare you make people do wholesome things?
I know.
People want to be horrible and toxic. You should let them.
Fair. Oh, Terry Fox has already tweeted pictures of the progress. I'm going to have a look.
Sling them up on OBS, I reckon. Sorry.
Literally just loaded up my brush.
Oh, yeah, no worries, Mills, yeah.
Flipping heck. I'll find them later. Oh no, wait, I think they literally just showed up in my mentions. Okay, actually, this is pretty cool. That is good. That's very cool. Right. Anyway, back to the chat. Hello to all of you watching, by the way, including Matt Martin from VG247, I've just noticed. Oh, yeah.
Hello, Matt.
And KL Hawthorne, A. Anonymous, Hatranoth, Josh Bunton, Titan, Uranus, Cosmic Cloaca, Uh, Veronica
Uh,
Magic, Han Solo Chewbacca. Let's see. Dan Kelleher, Boris Pagliaro, Ricky McFadden, Lee Inns, Inferiority Suplex, In Felix Soror, Frodo Baggins, Xenogar 180, Alex Samaras, a whole bunch of you in the chat. It's
Lord,
very nice to see you.
difficult to fit all those in.
I know. Ordinarily I can go a bit faster than that in the in Ian Higton calls it a naming trance. But I'm apparently off my game today.
Oh, we're sleepy boys today, to be fair.
Oh man, I had a nap for lunch. It's
I didn't know you could eat
sometimes.
those now.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's just the most nourishing thing to get you through the day. Just being out of it for a while. Because I don't know about you, but humidity is not my friend.
Oh God,
I'm
no.
I am hirsute, and I am also what's the word for it?
Sweaty boy.
No. Well, I do get night sweats from the medication I take. That's annoying. So if I have a nap, I wake up drenched in sweat, and I'm like, oh, brilliant! I need to shower now. But God damn it, husky. That's the word I'm after. So that yeah, humidity, not my pal, really, if I'm perfectly honest. So I've been struggling to sleep recently.
Yeah, I had the fan on full whack, pointed straight at my bum last night. The only way. The only way.
Well, I do enjoy a bit of a bum fan. Regrettably, my wife can't sleep with a fan on in the room, so
Yeah.
it's a fanless place. But that's
And
fine.
that's why you don't stream yourself in bed at night.
One of the reasons, yeah, one of the many reasons I'm not
Well,
keen to stream
a little
myself.
fan joke there for you.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
All my fans out there.
God. Idiots. Wow. Painting black over white is not as straightforward as you think. This is patchy. It's going to need another coat. Mm.
They're both like equally as strong as each other, so they kind of cancel each other out a bit, I guess.
Mm. Well, that is bad tea.
Oh no, that might actually be your paint water.
No, it's not. Thankfully,
Oh,
unless
cold.
my
It tastes like non-toxic acrylics.
non-toxic acrylics.
Oh, we've got Artel Saurian Games in the chat, by the way.
Hello.
How you doing? Thanks very much for
That
sending these models out.
that, if I'm not mistaken, will be Jay, who is a very lovely man. So there.
Yeah, have a bang on that.
Have a bang on that. Oh, this is not going the way I hoped it might. Yeah, I've been meaning to base my Cyberpunk minis and get going on them, but the weather's been rubbish lately, so I've kind of not been able to base coat very much. Also, I had to paint the entire new 40k box inside a week for the
Yeah,
reviews.
I'm impressed, man. I'm still painting the 20 models that came with Infinity. So
Well, it was I spent 12 hours on all of the Marines, so it was a quick job. It's not my finest work, but I got it done. Oh, the chat's going off on drink your paint water.
mm-hmm.
I
Rightly
mean,
so.
look, it's quite easy for me to tell the difference. This is my paint water in a disgusting mug, slightly cloudy. This is a disappointing cup of tea in a Transformers mug. So,
We have another super chat, by the way, from Cookie Cat 94. He says his little donation towards some better tea for Johnny.
Thank you. I mean, the tea itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the way I made it, because I realised that I had misjudged how long it would take for the kettle to boil. And so I was going to be late on the stream. So I took the kettle off the boil just before it actually hit 100 degrees. So it's just bad tea. Didn't brew right. And then I probably put too much milk in because I was rushing again.
I don't right like some other teas do.
Here we go. Painting a little backpack.
Been here all week.
Artalsorian Games says, glad to be here. And it is Jay. I was correct. Saying, missing everyone. I was hoping to see people at cons. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was nice to fit PAX East in just before sort of everything got real. But that feels like a million years ago now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not to harp on about the state of things.
It's quite difficult to think about anything else.
Yeah, it has kind of become all-consuming, hasn't it? But hey-ho. What have you been up to this week, Wales?
Well, I've been doing a lot of streaming, but obviously that's a personal project of mine.
Yeah, it seems to be going well. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good. Made affiliate last night.
Hey, congrats! I
Did a
thought I
little
saw
dance, just some royalty-free bossa nova music.
that. Maybe that's what these streams are missing: royalty-free bossa nova.
I kid you not. It really brightened the mood up a little bit, you know. I think there's something in that. Cats are just sort of like, they're too lazy to actually fight with each other, so they're just sort of laying apart from each other, just sort of swatting in midair.
Oh, who can blame them? It's 2020.
It's 2020.
It's been warm recently.
They're probably sick of me by now.
Watson broke up an amazing fight between our two cats last night, I want to say. They were fighting, and one of them grabbed the other one and sort of bit her on the back of the neck. And Watson just stormed into the middle of the two of them and was like... And so those two were just staring at Watson, and Watson was just eyeballing them. And then ever so slowly and ever so sheepishly, they just backed off and stopped. It was great. Oh, a super chat from Elizabeth Rakowski saying, "Hi Johnny, can you say hi to my husband Chris, who would definitely rather be painting than working? Also, how do you maintain your brushes?" I'd be delighted to, Elizabeth. Thank you for the super chat. Hi Chris, I'm sorry that you're working and not painting. In terms of maintaining my brushes, there is a little dish of soap that I bought a while ago. Which is called like the Masters Paint Preserver or something, brush preserver.
I desperately need to order that thing.
It's brilliant.
Revolution, right? I keep hearing about it.
I rescued my old dry brush, which was so matted beyond belief, and I just spent 10 minutes with it, just carefully sort of washing it and teasing the bristles, and I've got another 6 months out of it easily.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. It goes for ages, this stuff, but it also really helps keep your brushes in nick and good nick. So it pays for itself effectively, because it just saves you money on buying brushes to replace ones that have gone by the wayside. I cannot recommend it highly enough.
We might be able to sort like an affiliate link for it if it's something we recommend, actually.
Oh yeah, we should really start doing that. Just sort of have a, because we get asked a lot what supplies would be good for things.
Yeah. Good shout.
Yeah. What bit of the Rockabye are you painting now?
So I'm doing the skin at the moment. So after your recommendation, I'm trying out a little purple undertone.
I
was just asking Johnny about it because I'm not great at flesh tones in general. And my rocket check has like this amazing dreads haircut. God, my mouth won't work. And I'm not a big fan of white people with dreads, so wanted to make sure it was a person who should have them on their head, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it took me a while to learn how to do dark skin tones, like for Black or East Asian people. And yeah, I found a purple undercoat does absolute wonders. It just makes for such a richer kind of tone. Because one thing you see artists talking about, especially sort of digital painters or games developers, they talk about how the rules are completely different for lighting black skin. Like the trailer that was released for the Miles Morales Spider-Man sort of turned out to be an expansion, but is it a sequel or is it not? Blah blah blah. PS5 game. somebody was doing a thread being like, they have clearly done their homework and work on how to light somebody with skin tones like this. So while I don't know, anywhere near as much as I could do, I sort of tried to look up how to paint better dark skin tones, and everyone just said purple undercoat, and it served me well so far. We have a superb chat from Jeremy Rock saying, is it true that oracles aren't part of 5e? I wanted to play as one, but the only DM I know won't allow it. Therefore, I don't play with them, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. Oracles, I don't. Does that ring any bells with you, Wills?
I don't know. Is it a character background thing? There's a big discussion going around right now about the replacing of D&D.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with it? But it's very
it seems to
kind of highlights that. I think most of the indie scene for RPGs, specifically with people saying, I want to do something different from D&D, right? So now that people are like, I'm not too happy with the business practices around a certain company that are involved in D&D, and they're looking for alternatives, and there isn't that much that sticks to the exact, if you actually really enjoyed D&D as a game, there's not that much that that sticks to that sort of
it's hard to recommend direct analogs, isn't it?
Yeah. I think most people are going for Quest as a sort of as something to bridge the gap kind of thing.
I think Quest is marvelous. I think it's genuinely wonderful. So yeah, fair play to them. To answer your question, Jeremy Rock, I just gave oracles a Google, and they might be homebrew rather than officially supported. But obviously, if your DM just drop my cannon ass, that's good. Straight up drop the model I was staring at. If your DM won't allow it, then obviously that is difficult and a problem in and of itself to sort of work through. But I hope you find a solution either way. I also saw, hang on, where's it gone? That's it. Artelsorian Games has dropped a random cyberpunk factoid. Rocker boys are rocker boys regardless of gender, because it's a movement named after James Rockerboy Manson, a British political activist, and musician killed on stage.
Huh.
So there you go.
Cool.
In his image.
That is a very good factoid.
Yeah. Although, little factoid about the word factoid, which actually this wouldn't be a factoid.
Oh no, it's gotten too meta. I don't like it.
If I'm going to be that precise pedant, I believe a factoid is actually something that isn't true.
Yeah, see, that's one of those facts I don't like.
people tend to say it to mean a small fact that isn't true, but it's just a well actually.
Yeah, thanks, man.
A really famous and popular pen and paper RPG studio. Yeah.
Makes me feel like a real septuagenarian over here.
That is a valid word, Michael Whelan.
It's a dumbass word.
It's not a dumbass word. I used the word septuagenarian once, and Wheels was like, "You suck."
Well, it wasn't that. It was we were in we were in a relatively high pressure environment, I think, because we had a pretty important person from our company at a dinner table. And Johnny said septuagenarian, and it's topical as well, because I think we were talking about Cyberpunk at the time, and I had to Google it because I didn't know what it meant. And when I found out that it just meant in his 70s, I was like, "Oh, for goodness' sake!" What is the point of that?
Who were we with?
I think some big packs people.
Oh, okay.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this lady's hand. It's very long. I don't really know where it stops.
Show me.
It's I don't know if it'll show up, but it's
Is it the one gripping the guitar?
Yeah, the one going behind the guitar.
I see.
The finger's there, but then.
Oh, the bottom one.
Do you see how long it goes underneath?
Yeah.
I don't really know where the stop.
That sort of happens sometimes when it's. Yeah, it sort of happens on the underside of certain bits of cloak, or hands like that. When obviously the model has a certain thickness where it's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
Extruded.
Nasansa de Silva did a super chat, saying Oracle has far as I'm aware,
Or
or as far as I remember, sorry, it's from Pathfinder. Different IP, eh? So yeah, there we go. IPA. And Sarah says Johnny cracking out the thesaurus to seem cool.
Yeah, exactly that. I
got accused of that at school.
I quite like Kobe Morris's comment just quickly before it disappears, which was just wait until Wheels finds out about octogenarians. Sorry, Gary, you got called that. You got accused of that in school.
Yeah, somebody at school once told me that it was like, I don't really like hang out with you. I was like, what? I thought we were friends. And she said, yeah, you. I think you just deliberately try and use long words to intimidate people, and I don't think that's fun. I was like, oh, I don't. I'm sorry. This is right before the end of.
Day on, you use the longest words physically possible.
This is right before the end of school, and I'd gone to school with this particularly awful since I was 7 years old.
Oh my lord!
So after over a decade of being schooled together, she was like, "Yeah, don't like you. Use long words to be to
you suck, actually.
to big yourself up." Like, oh, okay.
Really crap.
I mean,
brutal.
Is it possible that I just like words? I mean,
we have 3 super chats, by the way.
Please save me from this pitiful story.
All of the chat, and then just laughing, crying emojis as clappy hands, because a lot of jokes just got flooded. The Geek in the North says,
Geek in the North
says, great to finally catch one of these streams and to see that Johnny is a fellow sister painter. Have a lovely day, guys, and thanks for the company while I work from home.
Oh,
Sisters are doing it for themselves, Johnny.
Thank you for that.
Chris Rakowski says, hi guys, thanks for the shout out. Any recommendations for fixing the points of a paintbrush that have been completely smashed? I think that that stuff you were recommending before, like if you're twisting into it, the miracle paint, I can't remember the title to tell me that, but yeah, if you twist the tip as you're doing it, which can be taken out of context, then yeah, it should restore the tip of the brush. I tend to find that you can go into like sort of 4 points. It's really annoying. They like spread out like a xenomorph's mouth or something.
Yeah. I have 2 tips. Number 1, do clean your brush before you do it, but stick the tip in your mouth. It sounds horrible, but yeah, sucking a paintbrush can give you that tip straight back. Also, let's see if this actually works. This is a really quite knackered brush, but if you dip it in water, I saw this online, get your index finger and you will get water everywhere, but you just tap it to flick. Nah, that one's too busted. It'll reform the tip of your brush. Tell you what, let's just...
I guess the base is built to like push them into a tip, right? So
yeah, okay, right. I've just...
on the base.
Right. Tip is bad.
Uh-huh.
Dippy in water. Tap, 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 tap.
Oh, look at that.
Or stick it in your mouth. There you go. Doesn't work with all of them. There is a point of no return with brushes.
Well, yeah, that's pretty tippy. I always tend to find that these ones, I can't remember the name of these guys, E-Boot or whatever, but they have like a little sickle going on.
Yeah. I find those quite useful.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of glad. Right, okay.
What was it?
So now I'm going to go for the Morn Fan Brang on top to highlight, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or should I wash it first?
I'd say brown, then wash.
Okay.
Mr. Harry Gray said, can't believe someone wouldn't want to be Johnny's friend. You did not know me in school. Lots of people.
We have a chat from Matt Shears, who says, undergoing some tough mental health therapy, and after a tough session, this is exactly what I need. Johnny, your old videos on the subject kept me going.
Oh, thank you. That's really lovely.
I hope you're feeling all right, Matt Shears. I hope you're looking after yourself.
Yeah.
Another super chat from Veronica, who says, lots of love to you lovely gentlemen for keeping me sane recently, and to my best friend Maya, who is watching and drawing with me while I sit in my PJs.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thanks
for the super chat, Ronnie. That's really nice. And yeah, thank you to Matt as well. I'm glad we can provide a calming Bit of Thursday afternoon silliness. Lolies is in the chat saying, "What up? What up?"
Ooh.
Hello, Lolies.
Hello, Liz.
Hello, Lolies.
Liz.
Ooh, hey, Rakarth Flesh. Look at
Oh,
you. It's you're a little bitty and grainy, aren't you, buddy?
The
Not used
lighter
to you
the
in a
figure,
while.
the harder it is for it to just stay good. I swear.
Yeah. Ooh, Dodger5277 has done a super chat saying, "I've played 40k since '89 and have a shed of minis." Wow. I'd like that must be an impressive collection by this point. I genuinely have only just started collecting 40k, because I had some 40k models when I was a child to paint up and sort of play with, but I never actually played Warhammer until I tried Age of Sigmar, and then I tried 40k for the first time very recently for the review, and I realised, oh, this is really great fun. I think it's partly because I have my main army in Age of Sigmar is Skaven, so big horde army, fine, but that tends to mean that I have long movement phases, and also just the nature of it being a really heavily melee focused game, and me not having many ranged units, is it feels like it takes forever for me to get into a fight, and then more often than not, once I do it, I'm like, I've committed so much to this flank, but this is not where I need any of these units to be. I'm going to lose, and I lose. Maybe I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm bad at winning games of Age of Sigmar. I'm bad at playing, but when I was playing 40k, because obviously ranged weapons are so much more important because everyone's got bolters. I was committing units, but also being like, well, if I only move them here, then they could obviously pivot and take these people on, and yada yada yada. It felt like the fight got going a lot faster, and it felt like I had a lot more sort of tactical options, which I really liked.
Hmm.
And then I carried on reading about the lore, and I found out that there's a bunch of nuns with guns, and I thought, yeah, nuns with guns. Although obviously the Imperium is
the worst.
bad. But then no one in 40k comes off well.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, the orcs are just about the only ones that come out okay.
So like when the Tau were first introduced, they were supposed to be the sort of like goody two shoes faction. But like there was such a like backlash because they were like, no, nobody's good in 40k. You can't make good people. So then they ended up being like Tau are now like the greater good, but it's like who suffers, kind of thing.
Yeah. Swee Raccoon has done a super chat saying, "Shout out to my fellow brush in mouth people."
Hello, Raccoon.
There are dozens of us.
Dozens. Right, so I'm highlighting with some Mornfang at the moment. Seems to be going all right. I assume. Another super chat.
Wait.
Super chat's out the wazoo on this stream.
Oh yeah. Oh, that came in before it did on my screen. Do you want to give that a little?
Archon Extreme says, "Hey guys, hope you're well. It was my birthday on Friday, and I've gone from owning 6 40k figures to over 60. No regrets. I shall share progress later. Much love to you all, and drink your paint water. Yeah, have fun painting them.
Drink your plain water. God, that's lovely. I wonder what faction. I am trying to be very restrained in purchasing Adeptus Sororitas figures. I'm trying to tell myself to just go slow and paint them because they're lovely and just slowly grow the force. When obviously what I want to do is buy everything and be like, I've got an army. But I haven't sold my Nighthaunt army yet from Age of Sigmar.
Are you selling them?
Yeah. Do you want to buy basically two of the Nighthaunt halves of Soul Wars and some cavalry?
Not particularly, mate.
Yeah, I feared as much.
Finished painting the ones that. I mean, that was kind of like the first 4 weeks I got that box. Still painting them.
Half of these are painted, not in your color scheme, but
And then 2 more super chats.
Criminy.
Kung Fu Panda.
Come from Fun says, quick message to thank the Dicebreaker team for helping get me and my son into tabletop gaming. We've just bought our first miniature game Core Space and plan to play it this weekend.
Beautiful.
Cool. I don't think I've played Core Space.
Core Space, hold up. I think it's the one from. Oh God, what are they called? What's the company? Oh no, no, this is not what I was thinking. Core Space is a science fiction miniatures board game for 1 to 6 players. Each player takes control of a band of traders trying to make a living in a dangerous galaxy, all the while hunted by the Purge, a semi-sentient race of humanoid machines whose sole task is to harvest worlds.
Oh wow, that sounds pretty great.
Dog. Some cool terrain.
Tom Clark did a super chat saying, "Hey you two, I'm glad I got the day off today to start on some orcs. Missed the start. What are you both painting?" You go, Wheels, and then I shall go.
Yeah, I'm painting one of the Cyberpunk Red miniatures. I've got a rocker boy who's got this sick, like, double-headed guitar and a big old mane of dreads and cool boots. And you can see the model in the bottom left of the screen if you're watching the stream. And then Johnny.
I'm painting a Canoness from the Adeptus Sororitas for Warhammer 40k, the Sisters of Battle, because they got me. I like 40k.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I thought it might happen. The core book is massive. It's 192 pages of lore before you even reach the rules.
Yeah.
And I read all of it in like a day and was just like, oh no, this is really nice and cool. And obviously they take pains to explain the many different factions, which then just feels like you're browsing a catalogue.
You are. That's exactly what you're doing.
And I was like, well, I suppose if I went into it being like, I guess I get Death Guard because their models are really cool. And then I was like, but then, and then I got to the Sister Battle and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, that's me. You know. Lola's just sent me the joke of the week.
Just not Tyranids though, are they?
Yeah. Okay.
That's positive.
Here is the joke of the week. Why did the snail paint a big S on his car?
I don't know, Johnny. Why
because
did the snail paint a big S
on his car? Because he wanted people to say, look at that S car go when he rolled by. Really feel like that joke needs the word French in there at some point in the setup.
Why did the French
snail?
Although I do love it, you know, when you have like one of those setups where it's like, why did the X do Y? Where it's like, why did the French retired 40-year-old snail from Bosom do this? Because it's such a laboured point. Right. I've got some agrax somewhere that I need. Agrax.
One of my friends made up a joke. Let's see if I can remember this.
Bums, where's my agrax?
What did the monk whose order forbade the wearing of any footwear or the owning of any possessions say to his cobbler brother when he asked him if he would rather have boots or brogues for his birthday? Don't make me shoes! It's pretty wild.
Oh, that was big. That was really big. Good lord.
It's a lot to have to unpack in not very much time, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like that though. I think that's why it works.
Don't make me shoes. Nuns with guns. Nuns with guns.
Killing dudes.
I think this army is going to be a lot of work. Because this is just one colour on the three colours? 3 or 4 that's going to take to make these robes just white.
One colour.
Loli's apparently genuinely thought I'd love that joke. I'm sorry, swing and a miss on that one.
Okay.
Let's see. What else needs doing? More metal. Oh, flash or so. Where's that gone?
Alright, I'm washing the skin.
Emma Benson just said I wake up early for these streams. Lord knows why.
Wow.
We didn't make it like, when we made you a mod, it was just because I was making mods and I was like, oh, Emma, I know and trust her. It wasn't to then make you feel like you had to come and endure all of this every time.
Yeah, it wasn't a torture.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't meant to be. Okay, little teeny tiny bit of skin. Oh, that's more armor. Let's get back in there then. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Matt Shears has done a super chat saying, have a COVID-19 joke, but you'll have to wait 14 days. Oh, I haven't. Oh, crying out loud. Have a COVID-19 joke, but you'll have to wait 14 days to see if you get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a joke.
There you go. That's safe to say that wasn't Wheels' favourite of the day.
It's rare that I actually laugh at a joke on these streams, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
In fairness.
Okay.
I
don't have many dark colours for the hair either.
What you got?
I want to do like sort of, like really dark brown hair, like almost black. But I've only got actual black. Like I don't really have. I don't have like super dark brown, Unless I might just mix together some black and some Mornfang brown.
Yeah, do that.
See what happens.
Go for it. Believe in yourself.
That's the place to start. Chris Rakowski has a super chat and says, what do you think of Vallejo paints versus Citadel? Are there any Citadel paint sets that you'd recommend getting for starting out? I know that Johnny has recently started converting to Vallejo.
I have.
I'm shaking, so please take over.
I have. Because when I started out, Citadel paints, I was in a Games Workshop and I wanted some paints and I was following along with a guide, so it was easier for me to just pick up the shades that were named. And I just sort of didn't know what else was out there, so I picked up a lot of Citadel stuff. But slowly, as I'm running out of Citadel stuff, I'm starting to replace them with Vallejo. Number one, because they come in dropper bottles like this, so that you can just squeeze out the exact amount you want, rather than, Games Workshop, I find the paints, you can see there around the rim, they catch a lot of paint and it's hard to close them and you've got to kind of scoop it out and it's all a bit weird. I think Citadel washes are brilliant. I'm still going to, sort of crack on with those. But for the most part, yeah, I'm switching to Vallejo just because they've got a nice finish to the paints. They come in these handy bottles. They're a bit cheaper, and they've also just got some gorgeous colours. They've got some really vibrant tones. So it is a matter of personal preference, really. There's absolutely nothing wrong with any of them. Or Army Paint is a really good range as well, and that's really quite cost effective. It's just sort of what you fancy. To be honest with you.
I think the main thing that attracts me to Vallejo is that especially the starter sets, the color range is just way more explorative. Where I feel like with Warhammer paints, like they are made to paint Warhammer figurines, which are traditionally very dark, gloomy figures and
that's
not
true.
Not very bright and vibrant. So I feel like if you're wanting a really diverse color palette and you want to get loads of bright oranges and yellows and pinks and reds and stuff, you can get them with Citadel, but you need to source them yourself, Whereas Vallejo, you kind of get them from the starter set straight away, which is handy.
Yeah, true. I think the thing, because I know that Super Chat asked specifically about Citadel starter sets, I think with Citadel you're better picking and choosing your paints rather than going for a starter set. because a lot of them are geared towards specific factions. So unless you want to paint Ultramarines, you're gonna end up with some very Ultramarine skewed paints that might not be so useful. Try and work out your color scheme before you go for it. Because I've got a few paints that I didn't use for 2 years until suddenly I was like, oh, I actually need that shade. But I bought them because I sort of was going along with what the nice man in the shop told me.
So. The nice man in the shop needs you to buy things.
Yes. Especially on the Tottenham Court Road, where I can only assume the rent is astronomical. CookieCat94 has done a super chat and asks, did you hear about the man who opened a snail farm? He says it's a slow-moving business. I like that one.
I'm glad you clarified.
Yep.
So small problem with my plan to darken a brown I already have with some black. My black has entirely dried out, which, as we were just saying, is a bit of a risk with Citadel paints, I think.
Yeah. You could just paint the brown one and then just wash it repeatedly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah. Because then at least you can go back in with the original base color rather, and sort of brighten it up again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, QWERTY Wolf says, I'm so thrilled I caught you guys live. Yippee, Johnny is smexy.
Ooh, smexy.
Don't get compliments like that very often. Thank you very much. I'll take that.
That's because that word is not often used outside of 2003. Oof. Lost from the past.
Indeed.
God, that's really fired off some synapses that were covered in dust, that one.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they did recently relaunch YourTheManNowDog.com.
Did they indeed?
Yes, they did. With all of the originals, you'll remember. Chris Rakowski's done another super chat saying a snail was trying to make itself go faster, so it took off its shell. Unfortunately, it ended up being a little bit sluggish. Oh no! Adam G has done a super chat. They've worked out how to open doors wheels. Did you know 6 out of 7 dwarves aren't happy? JH has done a super chat saying, what about the man who opened a coffin business? People are dying to get in them.
Jesus Christ. Look at them all. My God. It's a full-scale invasion.
Egads. Wow. Feel like we need a tumbleweed emoji for all these jokes, says Barry Bumblecrumpets. That's an amazing username.
Yes.
Barry Bumblecrumpets.
Barry Bumblecrumpets here with a brand new invention I've discovered in my bakery.
But yeah, that reminds me, we also need to get rolling on memberships. We keep saying we're going to do it, and we ain't. We just need to we need to get some emojis done. Perhaps talk to the design team.
Sort those out.
Yeah. Jeremy Rock has done a super chat and says, my wife asked me to stop singing Wonderwall to her. I said maybe.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
We've created a community of monsters.
Have you seen that advert for a kebab shop that fits perfectly into Wonderwall?
I think so. Carry on as if I'd said no, because to be honest with you, I can't remember.
Let me find it.
Okay. Excuse me.
That's it. Buy now, hummus and a wow extra large falafel meal for 2.
That's amazing. That's very, very good.
Oh, God.
Ooh, Hatronoth has been designing things to 3D print in order to get back into using CAD, including a Dicebreaker coin. That's very cool.
Finally, we can launch our own currency and I can be rich.
I was just about to say, finally, we can open a theme park. Great minds.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Ah, dear. Okay, this cup of tea is actually all right. Hello, I'm Duke N has done a super chat saying Alex Lowleys is having a blast in the chat. I'm glad. It's nice sometimes to sort of camp out in one of our own streams and just sort of you feel part of the chat in a way that you don't quite when you're actually streaming. Because obviously, while we are talking to you, we're also staring at tiny bits of plastic in our hands and trying not to mess them up.
I've just used the tone that I had that I mixed, right? And I actually quite like the hair color. Quite cool.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
It's like slightly bleached almost, you know?
Yeah. The sort of the light and
I wait for it to dry and then dry brush it with some more blondie tones and see how it looks.
Yeah, that's great.
In the meantime, I'm going to give her a hot pink guitar, baby. Let's do
Hello.
this. Now we're talking.
Let's see.
ASR9 calls us the Super Beard Bros. Icebreaker.
Telsorian Games asks if everyone caught the Johnny Silverhand cocktail videos.
Cocktail videos?
Yeah, there's a Johnny Silverhand cocktail, I believe, hidden away in Cyberpunk 2077, possibly. I think Outside Xbox / Extra might have done it.
Okay.
I think. Will glass coffins ever become popular? Remains to be seen. That was Philip Rakovich. I probably messed that one up. But yeah, that was. I actually really enjoyed that one.
I can tell.
Oh, Archon Extreme says, Johnny, not sure you saw my last chat, but went with Death Guard. I agree, they look super cool, but maybe tough to paint. I think they're one of those factions you can really play around with because they're all kind of nurgly and you can really sort of just try different techniques out on them. Because they don't all have to be uniform because they've all been corrupted by Papa Nurgle.
I really like the more Terrier model.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very cool.
Pretty cool.
Is that hair or is that flesh?
It's a brand new game show hosted by Johnny Chiodini coming to Quest. Is it hair or is it flesh?
Or is that flesh? Ah, dear. Ooh. Kate O'Sullivan says this is a great stream to be inking a design to. So chill and laughter filled.
It is laughter filled.
For God's sake. Cookie Cat 94 has done a super chat saying many pelicans have been found missing their beaks. Police suspect a local bill collector is behind it all. Oh no. Oh dear.
I like that they went for a slightly different format there.
Yeah.
News report format.
Indeed.
I want to see your most different jokes, people.
People aren't loving the idea of hair or flesh in the chat.
No?
No. It's possibly because of my priors with regards to discussing cannibalism.
Emma Benson just goes, hair or flesh sounds horrifying?
Dear. I just didn't think my views on cannibalism were that controversial, really, but...
What, that you would do it if you had to?
No, it's a bit worse than that.
No?
If somebody like had a limb, you know, amputated, but they were also able to keep it and they cooked it and they were like, I've made dinner, it's my leg. 100%.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Like thank you, finally.
Well, the fuss is, right?
Huh?
What the fuss is about.
Yeah. It's consensual. In fact, a guy did that in the States. He kept his foot after it was amputated, and they made foot tacos.
Very kind of him.
Yeah.
Frodo Baggins says, what did I miss?
Oh boy, welcome back. Eep.
Oh, God. Dario Traverso says, hello there. I just saw the video on YouTube about Blades in the Dark, and here I am. Minis and Cyberpunk are two of my favourite things. Oh,
amazing. The system works. Right. Welcome to Dicebreaker. We are on it. Sorry,
It's
it's been a very
channel
long
you're
week.
already watching.
My name is Johnny, and this is Wheels, and we're painting things. Wheels is painting a Rockaboy from Cyberpunk Red, and I'm painting Canoness from 40K's Adeptus Sororitas. Hatrinoff has done a super chat saying, "Do you want to hear a joke about construction?" I'm still working on it.
I don't think that's nah. It's
No?
not.
Okay.
It's not specific enough to construction itself. It could be any topic in which you work on things.
Cannibalism, says our Talsorian, perfectly possible in Cyberpunk. So there we go.
I mean, it's kind of possible in all RPG settings, really. You try hard enough.
Well, yeah. But, you know, then people start complaining like, I don't really think that's appropriate. Please stop trying to eat my character. Johnny,
Stop
not this again.
your eyes, licking your lips when you describe what you're doing.
Johnny, that's my actual arm. Some people just aren't ready for that kind of stuff, you know? And I get that. I'm respectful of their wishes.
No, I don't care if you've not had your daily snack yet. I think it's only fair that if she's got a hot pink guitar, she should have hot pink earphones as well.
I think that's fair. Here's a good one from Dino Buckwell.
Headphones.
What's the difference between a buffalo and a bison?
Oh, I've heard this one. Can't wash your hands? Something like that?
You can't wash your hands in a buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Megan B has done a super chat saying, "I really want the pun 'O ye of little faith' to be made in Dungeon Breaker." It's a very good point, actually. We should really get around to that. We should say, actually, if anyone is looking forward to this weekend's edition of Dungeon Breaker, you'll have to wait a week.
I love how you phrase that. If you're really looking forward to the next episode of Dungeon Breaker, sucks to be you, I guess.
Okay, I may have built them up before knocking them down. It's coming back next week, not this Saturday, but this Saturday instead there is a very fun video with Luke Westerway of Outside Extra, in which we start talking about the ins and outs of dungeon mastering, and let's just say we've got a very exciting collaboration on the works. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be going live around the same time. Nunyo Bidness has done a super chat saying, "A priest, a minister, and a rabbi walk into a bar. Bartender says, 'God, what is this? Some kind of joke?'"
Dino Buckwell says it's pronounced Dino, but I don't believe them.
Dino Buckwell.
It's one of those dinosaurs that are trying to sneak into our chat again. Wow. That one's quite dark, that cannibalism joke from Mona.
Yep. That ain't getting read out.
A lot. Probably not all right to read out.
Ain't reading that out. No thanks. Sorry.
Where Johnny Chiodini in a dark alley out of seasoning and cutlery is a secret night. I'd be scared of that. Either way, I think.
What, me with seasoning and cutlery?
You know,
oh, me in a dark alley. Wow.
That's exactly what I meant, yeah.
Sarah Francella? I should really know by now. I've got an Italian surname. Says, "Hooray, Luke seems like he would be a great DM, brackets, especially after the werewolf stream." Interesting. Cookie Cat 94 has done a super chat, promising it is the last one, heading to bed. Night all. "If a cannibal eats a missionary, does it mean they have a taste for religion?"
Or exposition joke. Ooh, you heard it here first, folks. The first ever joke about sex, only on Dicebreaker.
Oh, is that what you said? I thought you said exposition. I was like, what's the exposition?
No.
Sex position. Yeah. Good.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. Rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo. Thank you for that, Alyssa, and for your super chat.
Oh Lord.
Have I ever told you the joke about the? No, it's too, like. No, I'm not in the mood to tell it today.
What?
Never mind.
Your bees joke.
No, God, no. I'm always in the mood to tell the bees joke, and you know I
Oh.
can't because this is a non-sweary channel.
You could replace the F with like screw or something.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would sooner get in trouble and tell it right.
It's noble of you.
Stubborn of me. What am I going to paint these little bits? The Canoness, you can see. Can you see on her belt here? She's got like a little belt tied around her with two like tassels coming down.
Still focusing on your eyes. There we go.
God damn it!
Almost. It was almost there. Come on, camera. You can do it.
Come on. There's a doesn't matter. There's a bit where I don't know whether to do it as metal or cloth or maybe both. Both. Okay.
It's the less popular sequel to Flesh or Hair. It's metal or cloth.
Yeah, Inferiority Suplex says, I know the bees joke. It definitely needs the swear word.
Yeah.
Lots of people are now clamouring for it. Adam G has done a super chat saying, I dreamt one night that I'd written The Lord of the Rings. Turns out I was just Tolkien in my sleep. I've not heard that one before.
Which is rare.
Yeah, it feels like we're very much the target audience. We need a dice breaker after dark for the adult jokes, says Josh Bunting.
Why don't you just get a little soundboard queued up on your computer where you can beep yourself as soon as you say it?
So 3 beekeepers are drinking in a bar. And they've had a few drinks, and they start boasting. First beekeeper says, I've got 50,000 bees across 12 hives. Second beekeeper puts his drink down and goes, no, it's nothing. I've got 200,000 bees across 25 hives. Third beekeeper finishes his drink, puts it down and goes, that's nothing. I've got 1 million bees in one hive. And the beekeepers go, 1 million bees in one hive? Beekeeper says, yeah, fuck them. They're only bees. There you go. That's my favourite joke in the whole world.
Oh, good. Good Lord. I feel like you need to have consumed an alcoholic beverage for that joke to properly hit.
Watching it back on the stream now. There we go. They seem happy. Lots of people are saying they've heard it. I definitely told it on Eurogamer when I worked on that. But for a lot of my friends, that is just a saying we have now when we're like, why not? Only bees.
Only bees.
So there we go. Now let's never tell anybody about how I swore on the channel.
No, because that's never happened before to any of us.
Not one. Okay, so those bits are definitely metal, but these bits aren't. So I won't paint those bits. I do not know what's got into me lately. Not enough sleep, I think, is probably the answer.
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah. Do some metals. I'm trying to reduce the amount of metallic paint I use on my models. I think eventually, even though I know it takes forever, I might try and learn how to do non-metallic metals.
What, as in like doing the sheen and stuff with? Oh,
yeah,
mate.
I know.
That is some pro techniques.
But it just looks so good.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible at highlighting metallic paint. So, Julia Kaiser has done a super chat saying, "Need help? Brown or dark blue leather for my newest book. Inside is dark red. Also got the book corners. Also got the book corners so I can finish the the Dicebreaker book. Oh, the Dicebreaker book's amazing. I saw that on Twitter. I think dark blue leather.
Here's a little something you might not have considered, which is kind of topical with what me and Johnny have been talking about on the stream today. There's a book in the Library of Congress which is bound in human flesh. So if you've got a mate who's just had his leg chopped off,
oh my god, yeah.
Maybe you need to skin that leg because you're about to have a meal. Don't just chuck it in the bin.
I would absolutely learn how to tan in order to make a notebook out of my friend's leg.
Human hide, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the inscription on the inside, because it's a book about the human soul. The inscription on the inside, written by the person who bound it, was like, a book about the human soul deserves a human covering, or something like that. It's really dark.
Damn. Damn, Library of Congress, you nasty. But
Ooh,
to answer the question, I definitely think dark blue leather.
Yeah, I think if it's Dicebreaker logo, it's.
I think this is for a different book though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not the Necronomicon. Not. It's the summoned blah blah blah.
Oh yes, that's that tome.
I'm gonna Google Human Skin Book Congress. I'm pretty sure it'll come up.
That or you're coming up on some form of watch list.
Oh, it's fine. I'm already on them all. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
Des Destinées de l'âme. Destinies of the Soul.
Oh.
There you go. There's a few, actually. One in Harvard Library. One in the UK's Bristol Record Office.
Wow.
There's a small pocket book of William Burke. Oh, I've heard about this one, yeah. William Burke was a criminal who used to provide bodies to medical students for the section. And when he grew tired of digging people up, he just began killing them instead. There's a little thing on, I think it's called Law on Amazon Prime that I watched.
Oh, yeah.
Years later, his skin ended up binding a small pocketbook that is stamped with his execution date.
Vellum, vellum, vellum. Oh. 2020, eh? 2020. Oof.
Oh, God.
Chat's not having that one.
I think William Burke now, like, his corpse now sits in the university where he used to sell the bodies. I think.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Do you know the guy who designed Grayskull? As in, like, meh, He-Man?
You mean Skeletor?
Sorry, yeah. What did I say? Grayskull. Oh, sorry.
Grayskull and Skeletor.
Skeletor.
Yeah, man.
He was inspired by seeing a body in a ghost train that actually did transpire to be a human corpse. Like, he saw it, he was convinced it was a human body as a child, and then he found out years later that it actually was. It was the body of a mobster who had been killed, and they used to have him on display to be like, see, the famous dead mobster. But once people forgot who the mobster was, they took him off display, and eventually they just shoved him up in in
like a haunted house ride?
In a ghost train, yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was only discovered when some people were doing some filming and accidentally knocked him and knocked a bit of him off. It's amazing. Like, there's an interview with the Skeletor creator all about it. It's really cool.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Have you seen that documentary about how He-Man was actually sort of invented? Because they were literally just like, we've got all of these toy tigers, and we don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So we painted them like a battle cat and then just shoved him on top. Then we made a TV show out of it.
I mean, for that era, that was quite common. Transformers was made to shift the toys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all kids programs really are, aren't they? But
yeah, but
it was
these were made.
Like, I don't know what to do with this big factory of Tiger toys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like with Transformers, the show too was made backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, Alyssa says the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney used to have real skeletons. Apparently, I have also heard this. It wouldn't surprise me.
It sounds like an urban myth, though. Oh.
Yeah,
urban legend.
I'm sure Snopes has an article on it. I mean, in the UK, you need a permit to keep
corpses.
to keep human remains somewhere. They need to be registered to an address, and they're not allowed to leave that address.
God, you go through the pain of death, and they still keep you in house arrest. That's not.
I know. It's because my friends used to have an actual human skull in their flat, and it was weird.
Huh.
It was odd.
I mean, technically, I've got a real human skull in my flat. It's just still in my body.
Yeah. You get to say what you do with that one. Thankfully.
Sarah,
Buckwell says,
donate my skeleton to a theme park.
Which one, though?
Which skeleton?
Yes, Wheels. Because what if you were on a really rubbish ride for something you hated?
Oh, God, yeah, imagine. The embarrassment of it all.
Ugh.
Look upon my works, ye mighty, in despair. Right, I always never know what the most comfortable position to hold a model still, so that I'm actually still visible on camera. I'm not just like down here.
A couple of my friends started streaming painting recently, and they just straight up gaffer taped a camera to a light. I thought about doing that. Ooh. Simon Ragg has done a super chat saying, "Hey gang, first week in this new grad job, and I ended up teaching my new team about the joy of TT gaming and played some Werewolf to finish the training week." That sounds amazing.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah. Good on you. That is a good way to sort of ingratiate yourself with a bunch of new people. There you are, Castellan Green.
So, might be a little hint at things to come to do with the channel. I got a DM from Matt Jarvis this morning saying, "Quick, help, what's the most delicious sounding paint?" And I replied with a tall glass of Avalon Sunset.
Good one.
A nice warm glass of Carabao Crimson. Well, that's just wine.
Yeah. Good choices. Well done.
Yeah, look out for whatever the hell that means in the future. We've got a super chat, haven't we?
What it is. Have we?
Yeah.
I've read that one.
What?
From Simon Ragg.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think I was so engrossed in painting this yellow that I literally didn't hear you.
Saying, first week in this new grad job, and I ended up teaching my new team about the joy of tabletop gaming and played some Werewolf to finish the training week.
Oh my word.
You're right, mate.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I thought that was abundantly clear.
Well, it's always good to check in and be doubly sure.
Yeah. There you go. I'm giving her like a. She's got like a sort of. What's the word for it? Where it's like the top is kind of like a bra, but with like a bit of the chest bit here. It's not like a tube top because it's fitted. It's almost like a corset that crops down here. Like a. I think it starts with a B. A
Bodice?
Bodice?
I don't know. Laura Hay says, "Can you say the brand for us new covers to painting?" What the brand of paints? I guess we were talking about Citadel paints. My brain.
Yeah, this is the names that I just said are from Citadel. But we were just saying that we're looking at Vallejo a lot recently. And pining.
Pining for the fuel.
No, it's not a crop top because it's not like a t-shirt. Hold on, I'll just show you. It's I think maybe bodice. It's got that kind of like. Like a fitted kind of like bralette with like a bit underneath, but then it still shows the midriff of the torso. All the fashion gang in the chat, help me out.
That's the fashion gang, not the fash gang. If you're part of the
Bustier.
fash gang, get out.
Mark Jeffrey says bustier.
Bustier.
I think that might be it.
Fancy. Now. On various details of the Adeptus Sororitas, let's bring this over. There are little fleur-de-lis designs. I don't know if you can see this. There's one in the middle of the backpack. I don't know what colour to do this. In a lot of the official stuff,
they have to be gold, surely.
They are done white a lot. I'm not a big fan of gold on miniatures. Maybe I'll just do them silver.
You don't like gold on miniatures?
Not always. With these, I'm not sure.
You don't like that, Johnny. You don't like.
I mean, I do like that. And my in fairness, that's really nice. My Kharadron Overlords have gold on them. I'm just not sure about gold with these. I'm gonna not do that, I think.
Yeah, I am. As Han Solo Chewbacca pointed out, looking very 90s, and I do think she's got a bit of a Saved by the Bell vibe to her.
Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong. Teresa S has done a super chat saying, "Watching the stream inspired me to continue on my complicated and therefore really scary crochet project. Thanks so much for the push. Good luck with the project. Complicated anything projects scare me a lot. Like I learned how to knit. I learned how to make hats. And that's fun. I like making hats and I like knitting. It's very therapeutic. But more complicated stuff that requires a pattern and multiple sets and stuff, absolutely not. That's beyond me. That's too scary." JH has done a super chat saying no one made a cannibal clown joke. It's probably for the best.
Wait, no, somebody did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, someone absolutely did make a cannibal clown. We didn't read it out, but somebody said two cannibals reading a clown. And one turns to the other and says, "Does this meat taste funny to you?"
Yeah. There we go.
How dare you, sir? Thanks very much for the super chat.
Yeah, now they're off. Now they're all at it.
I know Dino's back. Sweet Raccoon did his sisters.
The icons on my sisters in gold. It came off pretty well. I'll tell you what. I'm about to try and do one in silver, and I'll see what I think.
Okay.
That is messy.
This bit's really, really steady-handed now, so I'm just going to disappear for a little bit.
That's fine. The thunderous silence of two men who are having to paint little bits now.
Little bits. So I've now got.
Yeah, it's got to be silver.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who does gold, but I'm going silver.
Respect to people who do gold, but I'm different. So he's now got like this yellow. You see, there's like string, sort of like.
Oh yeah.
Supporting the chest. But it looks like it's part of the top, and she's got like sleeves on her arms. I don't know whether or not to do them in the same color or to like have them be like my next thing to work out. I do want her to look quite 90s. I think she's going to have that kind of like bright, vivid color palette.
Yeah. Nasunsa de Silva's done a super chat saying, "A priest, a rabbi, and a minister walk into a bar. Priest says, we should have ducked."
That is a slightly less offensive version of the dyslexic one, which I am a big fan of.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I like that that's been reworked. I think I'll give her some blue shorts. I thought I had a colour that was darker than McCrag, but maybe I don't.
McCrag blue.
Ah, McCrag! Jesus Christ! I think McCrag is about as deep as it's going to get, but we can always shape it.
Adam G has done. If you do a silver highlight, which you think would look better gold, you can give it a wash of Seraphim Sepia. Very good point.
Icebreaker, any chance we get to see your board game slash miniature collection? I've
Uh,
got mine on a shelf now. We might do that. Maybe even we'll do that as the
ooh,
first members video. We'll do here's our personal board game collection.
yeah, that
New
sounds
idea.
nice. Yeah, let's do that.
Well, Jeffrey says tie-dye fade sleeves, yellow to blue. Sounds bloody hard, so I'm going to avoid that one, I'm afraid.
I mean, okay. Does sound cool though.
Never called myself an ambitious painter. I tell you what I need, actually. I need to get another big model. Those are my favorite ones to paint. Like the big Skaven boy.
Yeah. I
Sick,
go back and
sick of doing
forth on them.
bits all the time, you know? Like, I like a big sort of woo.
I like having things to chip away at, but I think I paint in such small batches these days because I get discouraged if I feel like I'm not getting things, if I'm not moving them on towards completion fast enough. I don't know.
I think I just like the fact that I can just do. I don't know. Like I like having just one thing that I can just spend a while on,
Hmm.
and then when it's done, I can just be like, "Look at this."
Look at
You
this
know what I mean?
thing.
Like, rather
Yeah,
than just be,
true.
"Hey, I did this unit," and like, "Here's some little dudes," and like, you can't really see them properly, but it's like, "No, look at all of the things I did on this." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Show offable.
I mean, I
Should you know me?
what? I have a really big Carriage and Overlords ship that I still need to paint, but I haven't touched. And I think I'm going to wait till I have an airbrush
Mm.
because I do this every year. I walked into the living room and I turned to my wife and said, "I'm thinking about asking my parents for an airbrush for my birthday," and she went, "Oh," because she'd been planning to get me an airbrush. Spoiled
Oh,
my own present. I
funny.
do this. I do this every year. I have an idle thought. I'm like, I really want this. She's like, oh, god damn you.
Yeah, that always happens to me.
I mean, it's a sign that she's great at working out presents for me.
That's the main takeaway, isn't it?
Yeah, but it also means that I am a nightmare to get presents for because I accidentally guess. Like the year I guessed she'd got me a banjo, which in fairness, quite an outside shout, but
Mm.
I ruined that one.
I need to get my banjo back. I lent it to my brother and I haven't seen it for about 4 years.
Oh wow.
He does live in Sweden now, but yeah, an issue.
Hopefully your banjo does too.
I think he then lent it to a mate, which is
Brilliant.
pretty poor etiquette, if you ask me, but his
Yep.
brother's.
I need to get back to playing the banjo. This is exactly how my ex ended up with 3 soda streams, says Titan Uranus.
3! Wow.
They are pretty good in fairness. Fizzy drinks whenever you want them.
Oh my god. So Jane, I was talking to Jane, Jane Johnson from the EGX team. She was telling me that because we were joking about Buckfast. Jane is Scottish, so she is well versed in
The ways of
Buckfast.
Bucky.
And she said that she had friends at uni, and she was like, "Oh God, they used to make Buckfast, but even worse, and they had this terrible name for it, and I can't remember it." And she just disappeared onto her phone for a bit to try and get it. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that was it. They would put Buckfast in a soda stream and call it Trampagne." And
Oh my
my
god.
God.
Buckfast, for anyone in the chat who doesn't know, is it's a fortified tonic wine. It's made by monks of genuinely the Buckfast Abbey, and it has been for a long time. But it has a reputation, particularly in Scotland, for just being something people buy on the cheap because it gets them absolutely smashed, and then they have a fight.
Yeah.
This stuff is about 14%. Is also very, very heavily caffeinated.
Yeah, it's lethal.
I once had a sip, mind you, of this stuff when I was filming a video for Eurogamer, not long after I joined. I had said sip at about 11:30 in the morning for a piece of camera, and I was wired for hours. It was awful. We've got 2 superb chats. I am doing a tough bit of robe.
Okay. Emma Benton says, "Oh, since you both play, I started Sea of Thieves, and within my first hour, I got my own sloop stuck because I am a terrible pirate, and you would both be ashamed. Having a blast though. Love you both.
Oh, amazing! I've got myself stuck more than once,
Oh
and
god.
I've been playing solidly since beta. We recently got stuck while being chased by a ship, and they just came along and sank us, and we were like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What was the other one? JH is still on Super Chat saying, on a more game-related note, brackets, sorry about clown joke, any good recommendations for investigation-style games like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective? Well, there's a new Consulting Detective that's out now, which
Yeah.
in which you play as the
actually.
Baker Street Irregulars,
Yeah.
which is fun.
The first
the
Sherlock game where you don't just play as like someone following Sherlock around, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a new mechanic that puts you right at the heart of every adventure, apparently. But I believe you still are kind of comparing yourself to Holmes and seeing how well you've done.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the Baker Street Irregulars are in the employ of Sherlock Holmes, canonically. So yeah, where's other investigation style games? There's
Yes.
Detective, a modern crime board
Yeah.
game, which is on my floor, so that's how I was able to read that.
The writing is not very good in that.
It's just got a new expansion, which I
There's
haven't looked at yet.
also the QR scanning Chronicles of Crime, which is supposed to be really cool. The mechanic, it's really good. So you literally just sort of lay out all the suspects and locations and stuff, and you just have a little app on your phone. You scan information on them, but also like it's contextual. So if you're like, oh, actually, I think this guy's linked to this thing, then it will like show you different information based on how you're scanning them and stuff, which is really cool. It looks really fun, and I wanted to give it a try.
Alchemists is good fun. It's not detective stuff, but it kind of is because you are actual alchemist trying to make a potion, and you use your phone and an app to scan the different ingredients and see if it's right. Or you can play it without the app, but you need a person to basically GM it, which isn't much fun for them. But it's a really fun game where you can basically make interns drink your potions and be like, try this, see if it's poison. I've only played it once, but it really stayed with me actually. Given I will have played it 4 years ago, I think it's an absolute cracker. I know people aren't that into app-based games, but I think there are some pretty good ones out there. Like that one is a particularly good example.
Yeah, I was I think I was at uni when that came out, and I was in the process of designing a board game with pretty much that exact
Oh no!
theme, and I was like, oh god damn it.
There is actually a list of 10 app-based board games on Dicebreaker, which gives you some recommendations. XCOM is on there, which is good, because if it wasn't on there, I'd have kicked off. That game's brilliant.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of the video games and also the board game.
How did your playthrough of the newest one go?
Oh, Enemy Unknown. I haven't finished it. I got back to that mission that I couldn't do on my first run, and I just haven't finished.
Oh, Enemy Unknown, is it? It's Chimera or whatever.
Chimera Squad, that's the one. Sorry, stupid Johnny. Yeah, so I'm about 95% of the way through. It's a cracking game. I really like it. Where did I put that paint? Do you ever do that? We just add paint to your palette and lose it.
Yeah, especially when you've got about 1 million colors. Although I'm quite like sparse with the amount I actually put on my palette, so I mainly just make sure I don't have too much on my brush. But yeah, I just got a copy of Desperados. Which I just
yeah.
What's that? Because that's it's the same devs as Shogun, Blades of the Shogun, or something like that. And it's a really, really fun little. Like, did you ever play Commandos? Do you remember Commandos?
Nope.
It's basically like a little, like it controls like an RTS, but it's a squad-based stealth game.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've got like vision cones and all that kind of stuff, and you're moving around, and like each character can only do certain little, but like almost like like a MOBA character or something. They've got like 4 skills that they have. So like the bog standard dude that you start with can like choke people out. But there's like this little girl who can't physically fight someone who's like 10 years older than her. So she has to use like traps and like little whistles and stuff. It's really cool. And then there's like a character who can camouflage and disguise herself as like one of the like civilians or whatever. But Desperados is basically the exact same game, but it's cowboys.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, we played the RPG. I didn't. You did.
Yeah. which is available on the channel if you want to watch.
Ding ding.
I don't have a light wood color. Maybe if I use the witch flesh and give it a brownie wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look a bit papery.
Where have you gone, Storm Vermin Fat?
Yeah, I think it's inspired by Commandos. I don't think it's actually got anything, any like actual link to it. Spiritual successor kind of thing.
Nathan Plummer says, sounds like the single-player D&D campaign that I need right now because all my players are really flaky. There are some great single-player RPGs that Wheels covered in a video on the channel recently, actually. And I've been playing one or two of them as well, and they are smashing.
Yeah.
Like, really inspiring as well as being fun.
Yeah, we can't really talk about them here because it's not really the platform for it, but myself and Johnny both design RPGs in our own time, and like I think we both had the same thing where like we played some of the solo stuff around the time we were putting the list out, and we were just like, oh, I want to write now.
Yeah. It's nice. But yes, correct. We are not allowed to talk about it. But Wheels' video, which he did make for work, and therefore we can talk about as much as we like, is good. And it has some good games in it.
Yeah, I very much recommend all of the stuff on the list. Also, Takuma Okada, who is the author behind Alone Among the Stars, has just put out she made a I think actually, hold on, I think her pronouns are they them, but let me just check. But they put out a sort of like follow up with slightly tweaked rules in a different setting.
Oh yeah.
Which is called Alone in the Ancient City or something like that. But they just put out like the co-op version because Alone Among the Stars also has Together Amongst the Stars. So there's also the co-op version of that coming now as well.
Oh, cracking! Why do I keep saying cracking?
Kraken.
I sound like I'm a famous Five character.
Oh,
Wizard.
Fantastic.
Gonna get some carrot cake and lashings of ginger beer. Stupid.
They them pronouns.
Self-esteem's really high right now, as you can tell. Just really laying into myself.
Killing Floor 2 is free on Epic Store right now, in case anyone's interested. Scroll by that. All right.
Congratulations! I don't know what you want from me for that one.
I wasn't directed towards you, my friend. Directed to all of the potential Killing Floor fans in the chat. I was just closing my browser and then I saw that before I did.
Great. Sorry.
It's the hot collab with Jelly Deals that we've all wanted. That's what it is. We've been waiting for it.
Absolutely. Okay. Basing these takes a while. But it's also the first one of these I've ever done, so it would take a while.
A little status update.
Go on then, yeah. Let's have a little update. I'm gonna do the same.
So, which is actually, let me just full screen myself on Skype so I can actually see what I'm doing. Or at least I make myself a little bit bigger. There we go. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've painted her outfit. I need to give her a metallic belt buckle. She's got some hot pink headphones and a hot pink guitar, which I'm also working through as well.
Very nice.
I need to move on to like the leg area. So she's got like those tall boots and then like some cyber knees and some kind of like some kind of legging that's just popping out of there as well.
That hair's come out lovely as well. Like it's a great sculpt, but you've really got some tonal variation in there, which I like a lot.
I think so like stuff like dreadlocks and also so stuff like this. You see how like this engineer's got this kind of like quilted gambeson. Yeah, I love those like really textured bits of model where you can just dry brush it and it just comes out real nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, or like the fur on a big Skaven model or something like that.
Yeah. I'll show you how I'm getting on. Let's see. So, will this actually show up? Kind of, yeah. So I've just been base coating her. Like I
Have you
said
moved
before,
on to a second model now then?
no, this is the first one. I'm going
Oh,
slow
really?
today. I'm learning how to do these for the first time.
Okay.
So yeah,
Quite looks nice.
these ones have sort of white robes on the outside and red on the inside. So I've had to try and kind of get in there with the colours and stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to take my time because I'm painting this this faction up, A to play and B just for my own amusement. And
Mm.
it's not like this is the only Sororitas model I have right now. There are some others on back order. Whereas when I'm doing clan rats, I'm like, well, this is going to be one of over 100, so
Yeah.
I can just A, I need to get this done fast. B, I can get it done fast. No one will notice if it looks a bit shonky, and I'm just well versed in cracking them out. So, but yeah, I want to get these right. Excuse me, that's very rude, Johnny.
So, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I've got kind of blondie tone in Kislev flesh.
Hmm.
And I'm going to do a very, very soft dry brush
Ooh,
using this MAC 212 makeup brush. Uh,
that is very clever.
and I'm going to hope that it comes out nice, but we'll see.
This
On
is
her,
Kislev
on her
flesh
threads.
for anyone at home having a look. It's kind of a slightly peachy, as Will says, slightly blondie colour.
Yeah.
That's very clever. Very good. I'm just waiting for the stone on the base of this canoness to sort of dry a bit before I go in with a shade.
I think there's still like another hue, like just in the bristles of it coming out. Just a
Family
little
Whitting store.
bit. So it's coming out a little bit grayer than I wanted, but
Hmm.
it's fine.
It's always weird when I paint under this lamp because in this light it erases my eyebrows. So I
Who
look like
needs
I
them?
never had them. I have actually found myself thinking, because obviously bald
Who
eyebrows are
needs
very
eyebrows?
much. I find them very good for expressing things like emotions, but you know how obviously like when people are doing makeup, like well sculpted but also very bold eyebrows are very much in.
Mm.
I feel like my normal eyebrows are just like it's like where are they even? Where are they nowadays? Like should I get a brow pencil? I don't think I could make it work, but basically my eyebrows are feeling threatened by current makeup trends. It's really where I'm going with this. Not in a toxic masculinity kind of way, like my eyebrows feel threatened. It's just like more than once I've caught a reflection of myself and been like, wow, I do not have eyebrows. It's odd. Anyway. Mark Jeffrey says, Ebon Chalice were my Sororitas colour scheme of choice. Yours is looking great, Johnny. Hooray! I wanted to play Ebon Chalice after reading up on them. And normally I try and come up with my own colour schemes for things, but I just like these so much. I was like, you know what? We'll stick with Ebon Chalice. It's just kind of great. Like the ability to spend a miracle die to turn a different one into a 6, and also a 5-up invulnerable save it's a delicious, tasty treat.
I do like so yeah, like you said, I tend to just be like, oh, how do I want to paint these? But with the Tyranids, there's this Hive Fleet which have like a white and mint green color palette, and they look
Oh,
sick.
yeah,
They
that would
look
be
so
amazing.
sick.
Okay, it is time for Agrax Earthshade.
Isabel says you could rock bold brows, but they also look great as is.
Oh, thank you. They probably just seem small compared to the vast amount of other hair. It's a fair point. That's just a fair point.
Okay.
Right, okay. Where's my shade brush?
I think I will do her sleeves yellow, you know?
Yeah, I think when you were holding it up, I didn't say anything at the time, so I was just making appreciative cooing noises. But I do think different coloured sleeves would be good for that model.
Different coloured.
None of your business has done a super chat saying, thanks, Johnny. Now I can't unsee your eyebrows. Here they are.
Well, apparently you can if he holds them under the lamp.
No brows. Look like a weird owl.
I was going to say you look like the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, all right.
You've got like bright white. It looks like a mask.
Yeah. And I have unconventional approaches to dating.
That's a kind way
Johnny,
of putting it.
get a brow gel that looks like a mascara wand. Quick sweep through the brows in the morning and you're golden. Interesting.
You thought this was just painting miniatures, but it's also painting your face stream.
Yeah. Oh, they have rules for being Ebon Chalice now. When did that happen? The Adeptus Sororitas got a new codex this year because they released a new box, and now there are specific rules for each of the major orders. Brave DX01 has done a superb chat saying, thanks for all the live streams over lockdown that have helped keep me sane and for introducing me to D&D, playing my first session this weekend. Ooh, good luck. I hope you have a tremendous time. Pen and paper role-playing really has been a tonic for me throughout quarantine. I'm, in fact, running a session of Deadlands tonight.
Do you know what? I don't think it's something that we say very often because I think we get a lot of first-time players in the chat in these kind of streams, which is amazing because it's great to see more people playing role-playing games. But like, if you don't have a good time, that's also fine. Like,
oh yeah.
Like D&D is just one of a plethora of incredibly different role-playing experiences. And I think a lot of them are quite, as we were discussing at the start of the stream, a lot of them are quite different to D&D as well. So, you know, if you're just like, oh, I didn't really vibe with that very much, don't worry. Like there's other stuff.
Very, very good point.
You don't have to love D&D.
Yeah, and that is, you're right, not something we've said before. He doesn't. It's true, he doesn't. Yeah, that is a great point. And it's fine. Obviously, it's fine to love D&D, but it's fine to love other things, or not love D&D at all, or not really get the whole pen and paper role playing thing. That's also valid.
There's also a board game channel and a miniatures channel. You know, whatever you want, as long as it's on the table, we love you.
Yeah. Ooh.
But if it's
Jay.
Ooh.
Jay, who is running the Artelsorian YouTube account, is going to start a Ryutama campaign. Apparently looking forward to it because it's a lovely game. I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, I need to Google that just to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. 1 second. I think I've seen that.
Shading robes. Gonna put two. So plethora is fine, but septuagenarian isn't, says Titan Uranus.
No. Right. Hold up. Because plethora is different to lot. Like it's like saying why don't you just say small instead of minuscule? It's like, well, minuscule is a lot smaller than small, you know? There are different levels, whereas like you can't be more in your 70s.
but septuagenarian implies like it's very much an era thing, and it has context of generation rather than just being like is 70.
No, I didn't say is 70. I said in his 70s.
Yeah, it's not as grand. It doesn't impart the sense of majesty.
Stop gentrifying age.
Stop criticizing me for using words when I didn't invent them anyway.
Oh god.
Sweet Raccoon. Yeah, do it.
Ari things on the table. Any of you play Malifaux? So I haven't managed to properly play a game. I did one like intro game at like a miniatures club I used to go to. But I haven't like a gang painted. Which is the one that I showed you before, Johnny, with the horrible demon woman.
Yep.
Japanese ghosts, and they're sick as hell. I'm a big fan of the models, although they are an absolute nightmare to put together.
So I've heard.
Yeah, I think like the way I've heard it is the person who designs the sculpts is obviously a very talented like artist. I think they've come from like a digital modeling background. They don't have as much knowledge on like the build of them. Do you know what I mean? Like they come out in very weird shapes and they're all a bit sort of finicky to put together because he's just like they rather is just like, I'm just gonna slice it here sort of thing, rather than thinking, okay, you know, like Games Workshop been doing it for however many years now. They've got all kinds of little joints and stuff that pop together and things. And it's very much like a sort of like a practice, like a
Hmm.
thing that needs to be improved on. But yeah.
I have a friend who loves Malifaux, and he keeps saying he'll show me, and I'd very
Really
much
good.
like to play it. Yeah,
I really want to properly play it.
everything I've heard about it sounds great, so I'm quite keen to try it. But it's just one of those things where, like, between Frostgrave and Age of Sigmar Warcry and other board games, and other just stuff we enjoy doing when we all hang out, it's hard to sort of sit down and say, okay, tonight is the night where you're going to teach me an entirely new miniatures game. So I've shaded the Cannoneers. I've gone deliberately very hard on the robe because I'm actually going to paint over most of it again. But come on, light, let's get over there. Yeah, it's that. Just trying to get some depth to it, and then I'll start making it, taking it back towards sort of a cream colour.
Getting it back.
Now I just have to sort of sit here while that dries. I can start on a rat. Times it.
I can start on a rat. Okay.
Start on a rat. I mean, I've literally always got them handy, so let's just start on a clan rat, I guess.
Yeah, more than 10 feet away.
You're never more than 10 foot away from a clan rat. Not in this house,
There are always more. Oh.
It's comforting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're not a Skaven.
But why would you ever not be a Skaven, right?
Exactly. Apart from the low bravery and the poor living conditions. And
the hyperactive metabolism that forces them to eat themselves.
Yeah, quite a few reasons not to be a Skaven. Come to think of it.
But why would you not play Skaven is the main thing, right?
Exactly. What, because you like winning?
Coward.
Because you don't want your units to blow themselves up? La-dee-da. The chat is deliberately dropping as many polysyllabic words
I know.
as they can. You'll notice I've not picked up on it and used it to make fun.
Huh?
I'm just pointing that out. I'm not actually using it to make fun, you'll notice. So there.
Right. Okay.
Rat skin flesh. Rat skin flesh.
Rat skin flesh.
Because everybody knows rats are basically orange.
Skin flesh. I can't hear that paint without hearing strong bad email.
Yeah.
Tight, shiny purple.
It's a good strong bad.
Right, I need a Carabao Crimson.
God, it is hilarious how much faster I am with Skaven than I am with anything else.
And oh, bums! I don't actually have that one here, do I?
Chat's going to go off on that one, Wheels.
Yeah,
just said the B word.
What are you going to do about it?
Nothing. I think we should take it back. I think we're allowed to say bum.
Yeah. But let's not tell Lilies, so that she's very surprised.
She's probably still watching, in fairness. All right, this is now a rat speed painting challenge. I'm going to see how much of a clan rat I can paint by the end of this stream.
I mean, last stream you thought it was going to take you an entire 2 hours to do 2.
Yeah.
And I very much said, I'm not sure about that one, Johnny.
Yeah. All right. Come on, clan rat. Let's get some skin down there. There we go. Let's get some skin down on that bit of the model I meant. Not let's get some skin down there. Stop it. Look, if I have to stop to tell you off, I'm not going to get very far.
Well, stop saying things like that then.
Yes, yes. I'm not the one who said twist it at the tip as you do it, and then said, oh, that could be bad.
Yeah, but I'm also not worried.
This is true. You're famously unworried about things. Okay. Base skin. Done. Bang. Clan rat. Here we go. How
much time we got left? Oh my god, we've only got 12 minutes.
Corn red. Let's go. Clan Verminus.
Charity suplex in all caps and with a star in the middle of bum says no bum revisionism.
No bum revisionism.
Oh god. And Felix Soros clutches pearls in horror. Amazing. Right. I think I'm gonna put a crimson wash over this yellow. Hope for the best. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna look. This yellow looks too nice. I'm gonna do a little test patch on the base. I want to screw it.
Good plan. I missed a bit of skin. I missed a bit. Maybe I could start a commissioned speed painting service. Only for clan rats.
Clan rats are us. None of your business. Has donated a super chat to the B jar, as I will now call it, if we're not allowed to revise our.
Fair enough. Sorry, we really went giddy with power then, didn't we?
Sarah Brunzella says they're just out of control with the BTOR today, and it got hold for review on the YouTube chat.
Amazing. Did you approve it?
I did.
Good.
Okay.
More red.
Stephen Harris says, how fast can you paint Skaven? Not nearly as fast as you can paint Necrons. Spray black, Xenophil grey, dry brush, and literally any metallic. Next.
I did Lead Belcher spray, Agrax Earthshade, done. I actually did shade some of it with Drakenhof Nightshade to make it sort of bluish in areas instead. There's another bit of skin I missed. That's good.
Right.
Maybe we should do a challenge stream and see how many clan rats I can turn out in 2 hours.
For charity.
Yeah, why not? Okay, bang, red, done. Now we've got to do metals. We've got to clean up that bit of skin.
Cats are very much curled up.
Good.
In between the bed and the wall.
Good on them. That's what Thursdays are for.
Yeah.
Two
little donuts.
On Friday, I was so tired. I lay down at 7 to have a 10-minute cuddle with the dog. I woke up at 10:30. Then I went back to sleep at midnight and slept until 4 p.m. the following day. It was glorious. I basically missed the whole weekend.
I saw Hazel Bassett on Twitter said, I've invented a new game. It's called Trying to Take a Midday Nap When Being Over 20 or something like that. It's like, roll 1d6. On a 1, you've had a lovely nap. You're perfectly well rested. On a 2 to 5, you've completely ruined your day. On a 6, time has no meaning anymore. You see 4:30 on the clock, but you do not know what it means.
That is so apt. I'm getting very good at naps, though. I never used to like them. And now, oh, doctor. Okay, 9 minutes.
Okay, I don't have all the washes that we normally have in the office with me. I'm just going to have to do a red wash. Hope it looks nice.
Maybe you should splurge on that absolutely enormous Vallejo collection.
It is tempting. I kind of want to get... Well, I mean, we've got it in the office is the problem, but I want to get the full wash set from Citadel, because I do, like you said, the Citadel washes are really good.
Yeah. Although, I just got myself the necessary to make my own washes. I've not tried it yet, because apparently using water out the tap is not a good idea. It's better to use something like ionized water for an iron, or distilled water, or reclaimed water from a dehumidifier. So I have a dehumidifier, I just need to run it. But it's been so hot recently, I've not needed to.
Well, it's quite humid, to be fair.
Yeah, so I might, because this bottle of medium here, which is only 250 ml, should make up at least a litre of wash, which would cost you £200 if you bought it in individual Citadel pots.
Yeah.
So
it's miniatures.
It's minis, all right. hard to think of many liquors? Fluids, I meant to say.
Stop drinking paint, Johnny.
No!
You can't stop me.
I just want to feel something.
Right. Now I need to paint her boots now, which I might do in grey. Do some grey boots.
Yeah, sort of a little understated.
Because there's a lot of bright colours already, you know. We don't want to go overboard, otherwise it'll detract from original ones.
Quite.
Okay. Skavenblight Dinge. Or
what did you call me?
Grey, as I call it.
Hail Skavenblight. That's what I was thinking about earlier. You know, you said that bit of the Rocker Boy's hand was very long.
Yes.
Sometimes you get odd little bits of Skaven shield and hand that are obscenely long because they just have to join up with another bit of the model.
Yeah, I don't think you're meant to see those bits though, because they're hidden behind a shield, you know.
Exactly.
Whereas,
so I don't worry about them very
the
much.
side of a guitar, where it's like
it is a bit more noticeable.
Yeah, because it's almost like she's got two different hands holding the guitar that have been stapled together underneath. Which I don't think detracts from the model too much, but like it is confusing where to paint.
I've done all the metals. Now I've just got to do the woods, a little bit of fur, and the second skin tone, and then we can shade this thing. I don't know when I started this.
At like 45.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Grey boots going on. Now I think I'll paint the Cyberknees literally just silver. Let them shine.
Let it shine.
Doesn't seem like the kind of character to hide the fact that it's got metal knees, you know.
Oh, if anything, it'll be part of the movement and the message of the music.
Look at that.
Sway the people.
It ain't cyberpunk for nothing.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, Sarah Francis just said, just killed Lady Maria in Bloodborne. OMG, my heart. That is one heck of a boss fight. Well done.
I have never gotten beyond Gascoigne in Bloodborne.
Oh, wow. I mean, in fairness, Gascoigne is horrible.
Well, isn't the whole point of Gascoigne is like you literally can't get past it unless you have mastered how to play that game? That's how I've seen a lot of people present it, sort of thing.
It is an obscene spike, but I feel like I and a lot of other people just sort of chanced through it. I don't really feel like it taught me anything.
Well, I guess there's that alternative
how
thing,
horrible it could be,
right, with the jukebox or whatever.
Oh yeah, I never bothered with that in the end. Jukebox.
It's just like
here's a strategy. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Father Gascoigne, well, stop what he's doing. The thing about that is it does stun him, but it makes the fight harder later. So you're just trading off one thing for another.
Yeah, I've always heard it as like because like I've watched a million different video essays on YouTube, and like a lot of them are about Bloodborne because people really like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
But there's like a sort of common thing of like, ooh, very nice.
Wood's done. Just need to do the Kislev flash, and then I'm shading.
Very red. Yeah, there's like a common thing of like a lot of people play Dark Souls in a way that objectively makes it less fun or whatever because they hide behind a shield, which feels safe, but oftentimes makes boss battles long.
Well, as Bloodborne itself says, it engenders passivity.
What?
It makes you more passive in a fight. You just sort of stand there and wait for them to hit you. Whereas in Bloodborne, you have to be proactive.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be aggressive and like dodge around and stuff. And I think the general perceived point of Gascoigne is like you have to be able to understand that to get through this boss kind of thing, and maybe like you can just sort of accidentally kill him, like playing in a different way. But yeah, it specifically makes it so that it's like, no, you have to get in there and get fighting, sort of thing.
That is very true. In fairness, you do have to take the fight to him, and also when he damages you, just try and get that blood back, because you very rarely have time to heal against Gascoigne.
Yeah.
You can also just kite him in a circle, as Aoife and I discovered when we were playing through it on the channel.
Always the best way to defeat any boss is to just encircle them, just circumnavigate them throughout the entire fight.
Follow me, father.
Cup of tea, father. He's looking pretty cool, you know. Pretty happy with this gal.
Good. As you should be. Ooh, that's too much. That's coming off. Okay. All right.
Now that we've got into speedrun territory, now we're like, okay, crap. Okay, got to get this actually done.
It's 1 minute 2. I reckon. Continue blowing on this. I can shade it before the end of this stream. We did start 2 minutes late, in fairness.
Yes, okay, quick. We've got another 2 minutes. Go, 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 go.
So I'm just going to show everyone how I've done. So that is all of the base colours in. It's actually quite tidy.
Leadbelcher, go, go, go. Go, Leadbelcher, go.
What needs drying? What needs drying? What was the last thing I put on? Okay, so there is some Leadbelcher on there that hasn't dried. Where have you gone, Reichland Fleshshade? It's time. Oh no, I've been doing it with Agrax.
Quick, Reichland Fleshshade, you're my only hope. Oh, cool. Oh, piss. He's got a metal belly button now. Fine. It's by design. Fuck, it's a feature.
Okay, I'm going in.
Wish me luck.
Gone quite lightheaded from just blowing furiously for a few minutes.
I can imagine, mate. Here we go. That's the ticket. That almost looks like a guitar. $74, $75.
Ah, you're a fine young cannibal. Done. There we go. Shaded. So,
boom. Right, silver done. Now shades.
15 minutes from starting to shading this thing. I can have this. I mean, there's no time to let the shade dry, but that's how fast I can paint a clan rat.
And now you know.
I reckon that needs 10 minutes more work if I slow down and take my time on the highlights. Whew. Okay. I'm really quite pleased with that.
One non-light wash, and I'm good to go.
Mark Jeffrey used to have a little hairdryer at the shop where he worked for speeding along the painting on our demo minis. That's a good idea. I have used a hairdryer before, in fairness.
Though I do tend to find it pushes that around a little bit.
True.
It is like a sort of, like, it's, you know, it's a liquid, right? It moves.
Indeed.
You kind of want it to sit down that a little bit. But I can very much understand why that would be useful in a high-speed environment.
Like this one.
You.
Now we get to check in with the nun. Her shade's dried. Yay! But we've run out of stream. But all in all, I'm quite pleased with how that is going. So here is the sister, and yeah, also painted a clan rat. So I'm quite pleased. Right, we should start wrapping this up.
No.
Oh, Jay from Martel Saurian says, just had lunch. My daughter is upstairs starting her miniatures painting class, courtesy of distance learning from the local library. What a
Ooh,
fantastic thing for them to
love that.
to offer. That's brilliant.
Yeah, amazing.
Um, we have a very basic tutorial on painting miniatures on this very channel, in fact, for any of you who fancy picking it up. But of course, as ever, this is not it's not compulsory to be painting while we paint. You can be doing whatever you like. So after this stream, we're going to tweet out some pictures of what we've done, and we'd love to see what you've been up to during the last couple of hours. And we would like to say, most importantly, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. Hasn't it, Wheels?
Yes. I'm done.
Hey!
Well, I'm not fully done, but I've got to a point where I could show it. Here we go. Okay, one rocker boy. Red
Yeah.
Oh, focus.
Come on, focus. We need better cameras.
Yeah, or just like a second one. There we go.
Hey, good. That's great.
As I said, she's got a metal belly button, but don't worry about that. It's Cyberpunk, baby.
It is Cyberpunk, baby.
There's her dreads.
They look good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
All
yeah, like I
right.
said, there's more bits I would do, but
yeah, I mean,
for 2 hours, not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to finish these two up. So, I think in time I will also paint some Cyberpunk minis. So I haven't based mine yet, but I do have some, including Maximum Mike, which is Mike Pondsmith's character himself. So, yeah.
With a mastiff as well.
With a mastiff, yeah. Right, so that has been another Thursday live stream. We've got loads of other stuff already on the channel and also coming up. Podcast is coming out tomorrow. That's a thing. The start of a very special collaboration with Luke Westaway of Outside Extra is coming up on Saturday. And on Sunday, there is a very exciting video that Lolies is making, which I think you'll all enjoy if you are fond of her previous works. Hint. So yeah, all right. Thank you again to everybody for watching and for being such a lovely part of the community and for your super chats, even though some of them were painful to read out. We've had a very nice time. We hope you have too. Here comes a picture of my dog. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye. Bye.